Okay, number 81 is Fern Gully 2. Yes, I know the first movie is not a masterpiece, but in the first movie, I like the animation. I think the score is wonderful. I liked some of the voice actors. I think the characters are nutty, but they stick with you. I like the rainforest setting, but the second movie is very forgettable. I mean, no one from the original cast came back to do the voices. It's very cheap looking. It's very lackluster. I don't even. This guy sounded like a Robin Williams wannabe, and it didn't work. And I noticed it wasn't Robin Williams. Even as a kid, I hated this sequel. Fern Gully should have just been one movie. I mean, don't try to do a sequel to Fern Gully if you don't know where to go. And the poachers, the villains were lame in the film. Just not. It was not funny. The songs were so forgettable. It's a dumb kids movie, and I'm glad Nostalgia Critic ripped it apart because he didn't even like the first one. But at least the first one had some merits. This didn't. So avoid Fern Gully 2. I'm not going to say the subtitle because some of them I don't remember off the bat. I'm just going to say the name of the sequel. Um, Now, number 80 is George of the Jungle 2. Yes, the first movie's not great, but it's okay. I like Brendan Fraser in the role as George of the Jungle. I didn't mind Leslie Mann in the first film, and Thomas Hayden Church as the villain. He was fun. In the sequel, they had no direction. I mean, they had a kid in the sequel, played by that little stupid little bastard from Two and a Half Men, who I don't like that kid. He's a freaking phony. I don't think he's funny. At the end, when he did this film, he was cute, but now I don't give a shit about him. This sequel was so stupid. It had no plot at all. It was trying to do things like the first film, and it was just way too cartoonish and dumb. And the guy that played George, I don't even remember this actor's name. I like the actress that played Ursula in this film. It wasn't Leslie Mann, but I do like the actress. I think it's Julie Benz. I don't mind her as an actress. But here, she couldn't save this movie. It's dumb, it's stupid, it's cliche, it's a useless sequel. It was not needed. It was, just forgettable. I did like one of the brunette girls that, from the first film. She came back and she kind of kisses George sexy, in a sexy way, but that's all that I remember. It's a dumb sequel that I don't want to see again. So, yeah. Okay, number 79. Now we're in the 70s. Number 79 is Gamera versus Barugan. This is the most boring Gamera movie of all time. If you think if you people did not care for the first Gamera, the Invincible, this one is the worst one. You're not gonna get any worse than this. Barugan is a lame villain. He has like a rainbow coming out of his back. Gamera's barely in the freaking movie. It's very slow. It has no good action sequences. It's very lackluster. I love creature features. I want to see a bunch of them this week. But this is not one of them. I hate this sequel. It's like the first sequel to Gamera the Invincible. It's not a good start. It's just very dull. I just hate this film. It's just really, really boring. I hate, I saw it on YouTube once and I was just bored out of my skull. I don't know why they would make a sequel this boring. I mean, the Japanese are better than this. I've seen Godzilla sequels that were better than this. So, Gamera vs. Barugan, I give a thumbs down to. Not a good sequel. Okay, number 78 is Phantasm 4. Yes, I agree with Rambarav. This is a very lackluster way to end the franchise. The first three films have some fun to them. Boy, it was a lot of fun. The Tall Man was really a really memorable villain. This sequel just takes a shit on all of them because it's very confusing. The ending makes no sense. The film is very forgettable. The Tall Man, he's just there to be there, just like Pinhead in some of the Hellraiser sequels after 3. This movie, I just don't remember it. I'm glad that they didn't have it. They should have done a 5th movie to replace this one. It's a bad sequel. It's just really boring, really lackluster, dumb. I know I've seen like a broken record saying the same words, but I don't know what else to say. It's stupid. Phantasm 4, so yeah, avoid it if you can. Okay, number 77 is Lake Placid 2, and 76 is Lake Placid 3, and 75 is Lake Placid 4. I don't want to do them individually because they're all bad Lake Placid sequels. I do like the first Lake Placid. I think the first Lake Placid is a decent, I think it's a killer crocodile film. Really decent effects, good cast. It served its purpose. They didn't need to make sequels to this. I mean, the CGI looks terrible on some of the crocodile effects. The cast is completely wasted. I like Yancy Butler, but she doesn't have much to do. Robert Englund was in part 4, and he didn't have much to do. At first, I thought they were time wasters, but they don't hold up well. The first one still does, because you had Bill Pullman and you had Bridget Fonda and Betty White and a bunch of other people. But the sequels are just lackluster. Avoid Lake Placid 2, 3, and 4. I don't know what I saw in them. I mean, I didn't love them, but I thought they were okay. But yeah, they're not good sequels at all. Just avoid them. Okay, number 74. This is probably going to be a controversial sequel because some people actually did like this sequel. I didn't. I think it was boring. And it was National Treasure 2 Book of Secrets. I didn't like this movie. I like the first one to an extent. I don't think it's beautiful. I don't think it's wonderful, but it's okay. Nicolas Cage is not the problem with the sequel. It has nothing memorable in it. It's very long. Helen Mirren and John Voight are completely wasted in this movie. I don't remember the story. It was so lackluster. They didn't really need to make a sequel. They only made a sequel because the first one was a success, and it rips off Indiana Jones. I prefer Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. At least it wasn't as boring as this. Book of Secrets, I'd give it a thumbs down. I don't think it's an interesting sequel. It's 2 hours, and I wish I could get them back because it didn't draw me in. It was very boring. So here, I'll end it here.